On this channel, we're going to turn this old, worn-out balcony into a full parrot breeding space. If you've ever wondered whether breeding parrots in Iran is really as profitable as people say, stick around, because every year I raise parrots of all kinds, from the smallest to the largest, and I'll be sharing my real experiences with you. The very first step is clearing out the balcony. After sitting unused for so long, it basically turned into a storage room. Since it's not visible from outside, it's actually a perfect spot for breeding. So, one by one, I started pulling everything out. I wanted to do this part alone, just to show that even if you're on your own at home, you can start without excuses. You'll not only have something meaningful to do, but it could also become a good source of income. Of course, every project comes with its own challenges. The first one for me was removing this big shoe cabinet. As I tried to move it out, it actually knocked over my camera stand and shut my phone off. For a moment, I thought I had lost all the footage. Luckily, nothing was gone. After securing the camera, I managed to drag the cabinet out. And once everything was cleared, I could finally see exactly how much space I had to work with. Now it was clear just how dirty the place had gotten. The first task was cleaning the floor. Then I needed to remove the netting and patch up the screw holes in the ceiling. I started with a broom to get rid of larger debris, then used a vacuum to clean thoroughly. After that, I wiped down the walls to remove leftover feathers. There were also patches of glue stuck on the walls. Later, I'll explain how I got rid of those. Finally, I mopped the floor to get it really clean. Even between the window frames, I found piles of spilled seed, but after some effort, I cleaned that out too. At this stage, all the smaller issues became obvious, like dried paint stains, glue marks, and screw holes in the ceiling. Once those were dealt with, it was time to remove the glass panels. For that, I had bought a few tools from a paint supply store, worth about 500,000 tomans or around $8. The key items were paint remover, thinner, and all-purpose filler. Since most people know how to use filler and thinner, I only demonstrated the paint remover. With just a small amount, even paint that had been there for years started coming off. Using a scraper is essential here. Sometimes it even works without the remover. And this is how the balcony looked afterward. So much cleaner already. But the hardest part, something I didn't see coming at all, was still waiting. Removing the glass panels. The screws had been sitting there for so long that they'd lost their strength. If the drill wasn't perfectly aligned, the heads would strip immediately. That happened with 3 of them. Considering this balcony is about 70 meters above the ground and the screws are embedded in glass, I had to be extremely careful. One wrong move could have been dangerous. My family insisted I hire a professional. They thought I was only refusing because of the cost. Bringing someone in would have been around 500,000 to 900,000 tomans, or roughly $8 to $15. But that wasn't the reason. I wanted to learn, to prove to myself that I could do it. At one point, I spent nearly 4 hours sanding down a stubborn screw like a maniac, just to get it loose. In the end, I got lucky and it came out. That little victory gave me the confidence to handle the rest of them. Sure, I could have called someone from the start, but by pushing through, I gained something much more valuable than money: experience. In the next video, I'll show you how I insulate this space against sound, cold, and heat. You won't want to miss it.